every week, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rewind. Me and RN, we're back. What's up, buddy?
What's good, bro?
Oh, shit, man. Just cold in North Carolina, man. How about you? Ohio's got to be pretty much freezing at this point, man.
Actually, no. I mean, it is in the morning, but it got pretty close to 50 here this afternoon. So it's like 20s in the morning, 40s in the afternoon, night.
Yeah,
It'll probably drop back down here shortly.
It was frost out this morning. That's like a sign of like North Carolina's like it's in it. Like, you see frost in the morning.
Ohio's a fucking bipolar bitch. We can have all 4 seasons in 1 week. Like, not even joking.
I feel like that's everybody. I feel like that's more like a global warming type shit. I think everybody's just weather is out of whack.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We shoot the show live on twitch.tv/Smacked Raw on Tuesday nights, a little after 9:30. We're actually on time tonight. And then the YouTube show, of course, goes up live the following day on youtube.com/Smacked Raw podcast. The audio version's found everywhere. We like to, on this show, just talk about like pretty much just what's popular in pro wrestling, primarily here in the States between AEW and WWE over the like recent week or two. Of course, right now the whole pro wrestling world is abuzz with CM Punk fever. RN, it's have you had enough of CM Punk yet, or man, we just getting started?
I like how they've been kind of like giving us a little bit here, a little bit there. I like that they didn't make us wait the whole 2 hours of SmackDown too to hear him talk. So like, I love the pace of it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, they when they rolled him out, what was the first night he came back? It was the closing segment of Raw. You had to wait till the third hour, the ending segment to get the CM Punk "I'm happy to be here" promo. Yeah,
right.
But that was a good Raw too, by the way. I know we complimented the hell out of it. That was a good paced Raw. It wasn't like it dragged onto it. Yeah, Punk's he's been on all shows since he came back. The guy's working like a full schedule. He ain't wrestling right now. However, we got news on that here in a bit. But yeah, he's appeared on Raw. He's been on Raw a couple times. He just signed to Raw last night. He was on SmackDown, and of course he made an appearance on NXT's Deadline, which, by the way, RN, yours truly, I tuned into. It was a fun show.
Yeah, it definitely was. I watched it actually Saturday night. I didn't watch it when it was on, but I watched it like maybe 20, 30 minutes after it went off.
Yeah, I tuned in live. I missed I missed the women's. What's the name of the match? I forget. It's a fun match.
Iron Survivor.
The Iron Survivor. Yeah, I missed that one, which I heard was arguably better than the men's.
I thought it was.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I missed the CM Punk and Shawn Michaels promo, which I heard was endearing. I guess they forgot their lines or something, so they just kind of riffed for a couple minutes and had fun.
And he had on a fucking Bret the Hitman Hart sweatshirt or t-shirt, I think, too. He was like, come on.
Oh, yeah. He said he didn't even know he was wearing it.
Right.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. We're tonight, since it is CM Punk heavy, what we're going to do is we're going to kick the night off here in a little bit. We're going to bring back unpopular wrestling opinions. It's whenever I go on Twitter, I find some hot takes, either about a certain subject. This whole segment, it's all going to be CM Punk hot takes, and read them off. Me and RN, we'll debate whether or not they're truly hot takes or if they're like cold takes. It tends to be a little fun. And then we got some wrestling news for you. After we're done talking about CM Punk, we'll go ahead. We'll talk about Deadline and some AEW news that's making the rounds. Because as heavy as it is CM Punk right now, there's a couple other fun things going on our end. I just want to shine a little flashlight on. But how's that sound to you, man?
I'm with it. I like those.
That's
I like
good.
these types of shows.
Yeah, man. Like it's it's some weeks I go above and beyond. I get us a bunch of material that we can look into, and then other weeks we show up and we just spitball for like an hour straight, you know.
But some of these shows where we don't put much into, they be damn near longer than the ones where you got 50 fucking topics.
It can be, yeah. Tonight's not that heavy. I just got like some AEW stuff, and then we'll obviously talk about whatever comes up, in between. But yeah, man, let's kick it off. Let's do the unpopular wrestling opinions. I ain't done it in a while, so yeah, let's kick it off with that shit.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
That's right, everybody. It's UWO. I just got done explaining it. It is weird, I'm used to introducing this like it's its own show. Now it's like a segment. It's still a lot of fun, though, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's do it. Okay. So let's kick this off, man. Like I said, tonight the whole theme is CM Punk. In fact, actually, you know what? I meant to do a little bit of work really quick. Hold on. CM Punk hot takes. I'm gonna put that in parentheses because some of these are really not that big of hot takes. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, so let's kick it off, man. First one coming in from at Donnie_ESP says, hot take, CM Punk was more entertaining when he was disgruntled. It is kind of what he got known for. It's what he blew up with, RN. Would you say this current iteration of Punk, which we've had him for about 2 weeks, is he disgruntled, or is he more of like a happy to be here, I wanna fight for the title Punk?
I think it's going to be a little bit of both. And if you watched Collision, he wasn't disgruntled on Collision. Like, he looked like he was happy to be there. He looked like he was happy to have like his own show and guys that he was molding. So like, the disgruntled Punk to me is a character, but also a part of him. So like, we'll get it eventually. Like, you can't have CM Punk and not have him be a little fucking grumpy old man. It's like, get off my lawn type shit. Like, we just haven't got there. We gotta get past the honeymoon.
Yeah, what would he have to be disgruntled about right now? That WWE backed up the Brinks truck to him, took him back in open arms, and he's instantly already a ratings draw. I have a news piece later on. Apparently, his promo segment with Seth Rollins brought in almost 500,000 viewers. Disgruntled Punk is fun and all, but he doesn't really have anything at the moment, I would think, to be overly disgruntled about. I don't know, man. I'm in the middle about this. I think Punk is just entertaining on either side. Although one exception, I'm not a fan of happy to be here Punk. I want either disgruntled Punk, or I want like man on a mission Punk, like he currently is.
Right. We'll get that. Like I said, I think we're gonna get a little bit of everything on this run. Because that's like you said, that's what he is. That's who he is. But he hasn't been there long enough to be disgruntled about anything. So give us some time.
Yeah, man. All right. So Donnie, although I don't hate your tweet, it's gonna come up as trash for me.
Yeah, it's trash.
All right. Oh shit! I just realized I have the music playing, so the yeet ain't gonna come up as loud. Oh, by the way, did you hear? Jey Uso got yeet back.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, man, he got yeet back. I don't know why he got taken away. I'm assuming because WWE couldn't copyright it or something.
Yeah, they were saying some other wrestler did it. My thing is, like, this shit is old as fuck. Like, yeet is not a thing anymore. Like,
my
type shit, bro.
I did zero research, but my assumption was that like they couldn't copyright it, so they couldn't monetize it, so they didn't want to use it. Not that not that somebody was blocking them. I'm not sure. I could be completely off.
From what I heard, it was another wrestler had already trademarked it, like in 2021, I think, or something like that. So they couldn't. So that's why they were trying to like not use it anymore.
Yeah, well, Jay kicked off the show yesterday on Raw, and he came out. He had his Yeet shirt on, and he told the crowd, he's like, "I got the Yeet back." It was pretty cool, because I'm not gonna lie. Jey Uso is the only wrestler that my son Gavin imitates. Like for pro wrestling, dude, my son Gavin, he loves fucking saying yeet from Jey Uso. Like he absolutely loves it, man. I was trying to get him on the LA Night train over here, but he loves the fucking yeet. I'm gonna need a soundbite for that too, by the way. That's what I'm gonna need to do. Need a yeet soundbite for that shit now. Well, anyways, let's move on to the next hot take. From NSA Stevens, hot take: Seth Rollins versus CM Punk should happen at WrestleMania 40 without the title. Give the title a big match to someone who needs it, like Sami Zayn. CM Punk, Seth Rollins is already huge as it is. If there's another opportunity to have someone else shine, let it happen. I 100% agree. I think there's so much heat between him and Seth. The belt, although the belt, as it feels the most relevant it has felt in ages, since probably inception, dude, they don't need it. Like, they really don't, man. I couldn't agree with this guy more.
Yeah, no, I totally agree too. Like, you don't need it, and I just don't know who he would drop it to in between now and then, since they've already started the CM Punk shit. So like,
we got a prime Drew McIntyre. I mean, they're not gonna, you know what I mean? They're gonna keep that belt, but I'm just saying, you could have just.
Also, the good thing is there's literally like 6 guys that they could put it on, and no one will blink an eye and say that it's terrible.
That goes back to you and I, a topic we mentioned a couple months back, where we said WWE has done the best it has done in years at building the next crop of top of the line or top of the card baby faces, like main event baby faces.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had so many main event baby faces that are actually entertaining, decent storylines, you know what I mean, just all around feel like a big deal, and not like, you know, the WWE machines trying to like shove them down our throat like they used to with like Roman and stuff. So yeah, man. Dude, NSA Stevens, bro, couldn't agree with you more, man. That is a cold take. I'm gonna give you that. In this case, cold take is a compliment.
Yeah.
We'll go from that cold take to probably the coldest Punk take ever done. Right here, coming in from Live for Cheeto. Hot take: CM Punk returned to WWE. More shocking than Edge in AEW. Edge didn't swear he would never go to another brand. You know what I mean? He was actually really forthcoming about it. CM Punk's the one who, I mean, if you, unless you've been living under a rock, he's been talking about how much he hates WWE and how he'd never go back for like the last decade almost. So, yeah.
Yeah, we both agree on this one.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of cold takes in this batch. A lot of people kind of hitting the mark with CM Punk tonight. Kitchwitch Susie. Unpopular opinion, I have to be impressed by CM Punk. I didn't start watching wrestling again until right after he left WWE. I don't get why people talk about the guy like he's a god or something. He's annoying and has yet to shut up and wrestle. Not gonna lie, I kind of agree with this. And let me explain. I started watching wrestling again right after Punk left myself. It was The Rock and John Cena's first encounter at WrestleMania is what brought me in, and I think that was the year that Punk left. And I did see the highlight packages, I did see all of that, but I never got to experience the Punk. And I'm not going to lie, to me, he's just kind of like a really good talker. You know what I mean? And there is that X factor about the guy that just no matter what, people can't help but talk about the dude. Like, we're dedicating an entire fucking segment tonight to him. But yeah, like I don't find him like I find him mingling with the top of the top echelon of professional wrestlers, but I don't think that necessarily makes him like the greatest.
No, I mean, I could kind of agree with this too, but like the thing that sets him apart is the talking, like because WWE held so many guys back and like didn't want guys to reach a certain plateau. There's nobody good on the mic like him, like really on his level, honestly, in WWE right now. There's guys that are close, there's guys that are like right behind him, but there's nobody that's on his level on the mic. And I include MJF in that. Like, I still would take CM Punk on the mic over MJF any day. But I'm not mad. I don't think I can eat this. I think I can kind of agree with. I can see where somebody, like, if you weren't there for the initial Punk run and seen it from the start,
Like when he dropped, if you didn't see the pipe bomb live, and if you hadn't been
not
putting
even
up
necessarily
with
the pipe bomb, it wasn't necessarily the pipe bomb. It was just like his journey to get to the pipe bomb, and then the pipe bomb was just kind of like the exclamation point of his career. Like he went through some shit to get there. You know what I'm saying? So like if you didn't see it, like I can understand that. And honestly, he was the best wrestler in the world in ring and on the mic at a certain point in time. So like I can kind of understand this. So like I'm not going to eat it either. I'm gonna have to. I have to agree with him just because how he explained it and where he's coming from. I can totally agree.
Yeah, and me too. Not gonna lie, the first time I saw CM Punk wrestle live was on AEW. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's not like I went in completely unaware of who the man was. It was just like this man, he's good on the microphone, but he's kind of exposed out in the ring. Plus, I'm a UFC fan too, and you got that whole debacle that took place. Moving on. Jerkin to Curtin, which is an awesome name, by the way. He says, maybe an unpopular opinion, but so far, AEW CM Punk better than WWE CM Punk. I'll let you kick this one off, RM.
I'm gonna say yeah, but I mean the dude's only been there 3 weeks. Like, can we get some time? Like, he's not even been in a feud or like win against anyone. All his shit has been by himself for the most part, except for Monday night, which was fucking raw. But it was more so because it was dope, more so because of Seth and his energy than what CM Punk actually said or did. But like, I mean, I have to agree with it just for the simple fact because the motherfucker ain't even been there a month yet. So it's like
he's right by a technicality. Because up until yesterday, the only storyline that we had with Punk was where's he gonna sign? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, so yeah, of course this is right. But I mean, like I said, it's a technicality. Let's move on. The Enemies podcast says this makes complete sense because you can't tell someone how to project the level of hate that Seth Rollins had for CM Punk in reference to Seth Rollins' promo. I know the promo became divisive because there was a lot of AEW sweaty boys that were hanging on to the comparisons of the Hangman Page promo with CM Punk. The thing is Hangman Page and Seth Rollins both, like from a character standpoint, share a very similar motivation. You know what I mean? Both guys representing their wrestling promotion have been a focal point of the brand, and and see Punk as an outsider just coming in and throwing his feet on the couch covered in mud like it's his house when it really ain't.
Couch.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought the promo made perfect sense. I thought it was a great promo, but I also see why it mirrored Hangman Page's. I don't think it's a ripoff. I just think they both had almost the same exact motivation in their feud.
To me, this is just the tribalism shit. And AEW stands just looking for some way to attack this shit in some way to like fucking like spin it. Like my thing is like, and I've said I got blocked like 3 or 4 times today from AEW stands to me fucking like not even talking shit, like not even being like myself going in on them, just like bro, like. What was he supposed to say? Like, that's, first of all, technically, that's literally how he feels, whether it's scripted or not. Like, there's some sort of real feeling about that. And the dude's been gone for 13 years. It's only been in the promotion 3 fucking weeks. What exactly was Seth Rollins supposed to say to him built off just that alone? Like, he had to say this stuff, especially because of the beef that they had and what they did at Survivor Series. I don't understand, like, what did they expect Seth to come out and say to a dude that's not been there for 13 years and a dude that he's been beefing with and taking shots at each other, underhanded shots at each other on the internet, subliminals for the past fucking decade. I did not get, like, yes, it was just like Hangman's because it was the same thing. Both of them were focal points and the head of their division and the face of the company at those times. And they felt like this dude was just coming in, grabbing the money, taking the spotlight from people that have been there working this whole time. So I understand it to a certain point, but also it's like the dude's been gone 13 years. He's only been back 3 weeks. What exactly was Seth supposed to say to him besides what he said? Like that's the part. Like it's playing wrestling. It's not even wrestling logic. It's just logic in general. The dude ain't been there. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't had no confrontations with anybody except himself. He's only been in the ring with fucking the GMs and shit. Like, what exactly did they expect Seth to say when he finally encountered him? Like, I really would like some AEW stand out there right now if you're listening, or when you're going to listen in your parents' your mom's basement. Like, please tell me what exactly Seth was supposed to say to CM Punk at that moment, besides what he said. Like, just I'm not even asking to talk shit. Like, I'm not even asking to get anybody going. Like, I really want to know, like, what exactly was Seth supposed to say to a dude that hasn't been in the company for 13 years and has only been back 3 weeks.
Yeah, man. You nailed it. Exactly. It is what it is. Like I said, even if you remove all the other drama, just look at it from a complete character standpoint. Both characters come from a similar position, anyways. Yeah, man. It's people. And people will. They'll look to find stuff, wherever they can. But moving on from one Seth Rollins take to another, still revolving around the same promo. Sir Paragraph says, this was the best Seth Rollins promo in a very long time. He didn't do any of that stupid visionary, revolutionary, goofy nonsense. No stupid voices or annoying cadences. Just went out there and cut a promo from the heart about how he feels and has felt about CM Punk. This is the Seth Rollins we need as a world champion, not the visionary. 100% agree. I love the visionary shtick, but man, it's run its course. It feels like we're just doing it because we know that the crowd will sing along, kind of like Chris Jericho's theme song. He keeps it even when he's a heel. It's just because they know it's an easy pop from the crowd, but has lacked any real major creative motivation outside of what awesome outfit Seth Rollins is going to wear week in and week out. I could not agree with Sir Paragraph more on this statement.
Yeah, me too. It was the first time I felt real emotion from Seth. Like,
first time he's felt like a real champion too.
Yeah,
because like
he felt like the face of the company, like the face of the division, the actual protector, like you said, of this house. Like, I felt every fucking bit of it, and I don't mind the song. I don't mind the suits and shit. Like, you know what comes to mind to me thinking about that? Swerve comes to the ring. The fucking crowd goes wild. Whose house? Swerve house, all that. And as soon as he gets in the ring and starts talking or starts wrestling, the boos are louder than a motherfucker because, yes, he has a dope entrance. Yes, he has a dope music. Yes, he has a dope catchphrase. But he's something completely different when the bell fucking rings. So, like, I think that Seth should get to that. I think that this is the perfect person to get him to that. And I think his character should be a mix of the Messiah and the Visionary and the Architect. It should be all three of them. And to me, the type of person that Seth is, he should have a stable. To me,
at this point, again, you think we should go back to the Messiah?
No, like I said, I think it should be kind of like a mix of all three, like almost Bray Wyatt-ish, where it's just like he's got these dudes that are just fucking, they can't help it, like they're just under his trance, like they want to follow him. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether he's heel or face, like I would prefer him being heel because I think Seth's just a better heel. But like to me, like I don't think we got what we could have got out of him having the disciples and shit and all that. Like that shit was dope. Like it didn't run its course fast enough. Like I was hoping it would have been Dom to take out Ray, and that would have been dope as him as a disciple of Seth and all that shit. But like I think the character should evolve into a piece of all three, and I think that CM Punk's the person to get him there.
That'd be the natural progression, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's right now. Obviously, any feud that he goes into with Punk, he's going to be the face of WWE. Like, this is the time to be the flag bearer and air out everything. And you know what's great about this too is because the dichotomy of the two guys is Seth, although coming off like kind of like a prick, you actually as a fan, you believe what Seth is saying, and the opposite is said for Punk. As entertaining and as Punk as well spoken as Punk is, You don't believe a fucking word this guy is saying, you know? I'm
That's
so
okay. This
happy
is
to
the
be
perfect-
home. Yeah.
This is the perfect feud for anybody to be anything. Like,
Yeah.
both guys can be heels, both guys can be faces, both guys can be tweeners, and like, it doesn't matter. Like, the crowd's
Yeah.
still gonna pick a side, regardless of how you do it. So, like, I think this is the perfect jumping off point for what we'll get from Seth Rollins moving forward. Just CM Punk just being around in his orbit, like, because I don't think they're gonna touch anytime soon. I think it
Yeah.
will be closer to Mania, maybe Royal Rumble. But like, I think that this is perfect for both of the characters, because even out of this, you can spin CM Punk being a face out of this too. If you switch it, do a double turn, and make Seth a heel coming out of it, you can easily make CM Punk the sympathetic fucking baby face out of this. Especially if you give some guys helping Seth beat the fuck out of him every week. Like, there's so
Yeah,
many
like
different
Punk.
ways.
You could spend weeks of Punk now granted, I don't know how well it would mesh with his character, but essentially in some way, some fashion, kind of repenting. You know, just having that like come to Jesus moment, like, hey, like, you know what, you're right. You know, we were all hot headed and whatnot. Just whatever. And kind of like similar to what they did with Jey Uso. Jey Uso had to week in and week out prove that he was trying to turn a new leaf. He was not the bloodline anymore. You could do something
And I don't
similar
even
with
think
Punk.
you need to necessarily go there. I just think you need to necessarily say, have Punk show that that's not me anymore. Not that
Right.
I've changed, or not that I'm gonna change, or not that I'm gonna be different. It's like, I'm more mature. I got more money. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Like, none of that shit means nothing to me that you're talking about. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like, he's still being asshole Punk, but he's still also like pushing that shit that he did in the past out of the way. So like, that's why I said, like, both guys have a chance to be everything in this, heel, face, and in between, and the crowd's gonna eat it up regardless.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the last two tweets. These ones aren't as quite as like introspective. These are more or less just preferences and taste. Where'd you go, RN? You still there, buddy? Uh-oh. You know what we'll do is we'll take RN out for a second. I'm sure he'll be back in a moment. Let's just move on to the next one. We got from Lee Connell 12. One of my long-held unpopular wrestling opinions is that Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are both better talkers than The Rock. Dude, this is kind of a tough one. RN, you back?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. This one, it says a long-held unpopular wrestling opinion by Lee Connell 12 is that he thinks both Bryan and Punk are better talkers than The Rock. This, man, I feel like it depends on the generation because
I mean, Daniel Bryan, get Daniel Bryan out of here. I'm sorry. Like, I think
real?
he's up there. I think I'm not saying he's a bad talker. I'm saying that he's not on the level of Punk and The Rock. And me personally,
I think he incites they all incite different emotions. Like, and I think that's really big. Like,
and I'm not even like, let me finish. Because like,
sorry,
Daniel
man, I'm
Bryan-
sorry. Go ahead.
No, because I knew, like, I understand that argument too, but like, Daniel Bryan is not gonna go out there and give you a fucking 30-minute promo where he's talking. He's gonna go out there and say things that get you going and say things that make you want to hate him, but it's very meticulous, it's very like thought-driven stuff either way. Like, it's not really like him going out there and having a conversation with you in the crowd like The Rock and CM Punk does. Like I'm saying, like, I think that Daniel Bryan is a great talker. I don't think he's a great talker in the realm that CM Punk and The Rock are.
But you'll
Because at
just
the drop
listen
of
to
a-
him riff for like an hour straight.
And in one fucking promo, they both can be heels and faces and make you hate and boo them at the same fucking time in one fucking promo. To me personally, I think CM Punk is better. I think even when The Rock was at his heyday, he was good. He was great, but he didn't really have a counterpoint to bounce back and forth off of. Me personally, because I mean, I'll find the thing. CM Punk is one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers all time. I think that CM Punk's a better talker than The Rock. I think that he's made a living off being a better talker than everybody else. I think that him talking is what makes us love him. Him talking is what makes him a needle mover. The Rock was more wrestling and talking, and he's great at both. But to me, I think CM Punk is a better talker than The Rock. And but I don't agree with the Daniel Bryan part. Like I said, I'm not saying Daniel Bryan's bad or that he's not good as them or anything like that. It's just the different type of fucking shit. Like it's not the same with The Rock and CM Punk as it is with Daniel Bryan.
Hey, what's up, Tommy? It's Tommy, not Tim. Yes. Not Tim, it's Tommy.
It's Timmy now because you said he's
no.
Now.
I was so embarrassed, man. I hate it when I get people's names wrong, especially because I say them with such confidence. Right. You know what I mean? But I kind of agree. Look. If I was going to rate them, it'd be like this. I think The Rock was an A+ talker in the 90s. I feel like he captured, no pun intended, but the attitude, of the era.
Really, let's be honest, it was 2000s because the attitude era started like 98. Like Rock didn't pick up till 2000.
Yeah, like 99 to 2000, 2001, that. But and Punk obviously captured the thoughts and emotion of his generation too. But if you were just going to be on a flat scale, if I was going to agree with you, Aaron, I'd be like this. I'd be like The Rock and CM Punk were A+ talkers, while Daniel Bryan was an A. Like, I still think Daniel Bryan is an all-time great. But, if you were going to grade him, he's like a 94, 95, while Punk and Rock are hitting like 98 to 100.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, too. Like, I know it sounded like I was kind of shitting on Daniel Bryan. I wasn't. I was just saying that his type of promos, and I'm not saying he can't go out there and give it 30 minutes because I've seen him do it in Ring of Honor and shit before. Like, I know he can do it, but the way that he does it is not the same way, and he doesn't elicit the fucking love and hate that The Rock and CM Punk can. He
elicits love now. He'll elicit love, and he'll get you booed, man. What was his official moniker whenever he was doing the
environmental champion,
the environmental one? Yeah, dude, you and I were gushing every week like Daniel Bryan's the fucking greatest of all time. And when he was doing that, we were
can't hate him. There's nothing he can do to make us hate him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. Like no matter what Daniel Bryan does, even coming out looking like the fucking weasel off Ice Age with the eye patch and shit and everything, like it doesn't matter. No matter what he does, we're going to love him. You're never going to get Daniel Bryan's never going to be booed because of what he meant to us in the ring, to indie guys like me and other older guys like me, and what he meant coming back to the WWE and the yes move and all that. Like he's never going to, there's nothing he could do to make us boo him and hate him. The Rock and CM Punk can literally come out as faces and be heels by the time they leave out the ring with a 10-minute promo. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And 2 out of the 3 guys have also broken out of the professional wrestling zeitgeist too, right. Like The Rock, obviously the biggest movie star in Hollywood, and even CM Punk found himself pretty big and relevant in the sporting world too as well. So yeah, I'll give you that. Like I said, it's a very, very thin margin. We can't. I feel terrible trying to eat this
technically, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
all right. Look, we'll yeet it. We'll yeet. It'll dodge the yeet this week because I'm gonna ditch the soundbite yeet going forward, right. And the official yeet of the show will be a Jey Uso clip, starting on our next show. So they're lucking out.
How we break ties when we do it just the 2 of us.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's a work in progress. And the last one, just because it's fun, is probably by a bot too. Queen Gracie _ unpopular opinion. CM Punk is a bigger draw than Roman Reigns. I don't know, man. Given this news story we're about to go over, maybe.
I'd say he is.
Yeah, it's I mean, right now he's obviously he's just coming in and he's super white hot because of all the stuff that's surrounding Punk's return to WWE. Roman, however, has provided us with one of the most legendary title reigns and some of the best storytelling that we've had in decades too. But the key word here is draw, and we saw a 400,000 viewer spike during the Seth Rollins. Hour. Yeah, during Seth Rollins and CM Punk. So
and he made people watch Collision on Saturday nights at fucking 8 o'clock.
Yeah, he did too, didn't he?
I mean, that's all it took for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody that can tell me different. Like, because I told you why it wasn't gonna last, and it didn't.
Right.
But a lot of it is because CM Punk left. Well, I was watching it. Like, I may not have watched all of it Saturday Night Catch, maybe an hour, half an hour, but like I probably watched Collision more than I watched Dynamite when CM Punk was running, because it was fucking amazing. And that was all because of him. And it wasn't like he was like dominating the show. He'd come out, do the opening promo like every champ does and shit, fuck around with fucking Tony Schiavone and shit, get the crowd going, and that was it. We wouldn't see him again unless him and FTR had like a feud going on those last couple months. But for the most part, like, it was just his presence alone, us waiting to see what he was going to do and what he was going to say to make people watch a show at Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, CM Punk drew a wrestling crowd on Saturday nights. Yeah, man. And it hasn't been the same. Although I guess I'll make it we'll segue to it. It'll be the first news clipping of the evening. Collision did just draw its highest ratings in like a certain amount of time. I'll go over it here in a second. But yeah, as far as this week goes, yeah, man, you're right. Yeah, I think he's a bigger draw, man. He's a bigger wrestling draw for sure. Yeah, really not much else to say in that. I completely agree. I think it's a Twitter bot, though. I'm not going to lie, because when I saw this tweet, I saw like a whole bunch of other people with the same exact tweet with like the same caps and everything. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is. but yeah, man. But all right, so yeah, that's going to do it for the UWO segment of the show, man. God, I got to do this more, bro. I got to do it more. We got to get Jey Uso, a little Jey Uso video clip, right?
Yeah, we got to get the...
Sweet. All right, man, let's move on. Let me see if I can not jack this up. Because I'm actually going to try and do a little bit of production stuff right here. Let's see here. Collision. I said we'd start off with Collision. Let's try this. All right, I might mess this up. But right here. Boom. Okay, there we go. Not bad. So yeah, coming in from Wrestle Talk, AEW Collision draws highest viewership since October against NXT Deadline. Oddly enough, an episode of Collision that was going head to head with the NXT PLE, the viewership figure and demo rating for Saturday's December 9th edition of AEW Collision on TNT has been revealed. Per Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, Collision drew almost 500,000 viewers. This is up from December 2nd edition that drew 455,000 compared to December 2nd's 451,000. It's the highest total viewership in the program since October 28th. The show went head-to-head with NXT Deadline on Peacock. Episode marks the best rating for AEW Collision against a WWE Premium Live event since WWE Money in the Bank back in July. The key 1849 demo was a 0.14, same as the week prior at a 1.4 as well. It featured Andrade versus Bryan Danielson. Yeah, that's probably what did it. Yeah. In the Blue League in the AEW Continental Classic Tournament. And the main event also was Eddie Kingston, who defeated Claudio Castagnoli in the Blue League action, and Kenny Omega beat Ethan Page. And then they're going to go on with the full ratings. So
I mean, it was a stacked card, man. Bro.
Yeah,
it was a stacked card, and it wasn't a real WWE pay-per-view. It was NXT. That's the part of that pisses me off with the AEW.
Oh,
people.
Come on, alright, give them their flowers. Come on, man.
No, I'm not, because this is something that we need to really realize. NXT is truly developmental. There are no stars like that can compare to the guys that were wrestling on fucking Collision. Let's just keep it 100. They always act. They only want to shout that they've done something when it's against NXT. They never shout out their numbers when they go against real fucking WWE programming, because it sucks. They're gonna beat NXT. They just are. I'm not surprised by it. That was a stacked fucking card. That's what I watched. That's why I didn't watch the NXT pay-per-view till it was over. Because you know what I'm saying? Because it was remember when I told you that he got hurt or whatever? That's what that taping was. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not surprised by it. Again, stop. I don't want to hear about them beating NXT, especially now. When it was black and gold, yes, I thought that was a big deal. I'm okay with that, because it was most of the guys that were on black and gold are in AEW now. So that was them going against themselves. It was like another indie promotion. I I never got mad at that. But now when it's fucking cheerleaders and football players and gymnasts and shit and people we've never heard of, I don't want to hear nothing about AEW beating NXT anymore. I just don't. Like,
you talking to like the 20-year wrestling legend Bryan Danielson beating a bunch of NXT upstarts isn't you don't think is a fair
Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, I really don't.
Oh man, I got you now. I got you. Let's move on. Let's go back to Punk for a little bit here. I meant to do this one earlier. Sticking with Wrestle Talk, another upcoming CM Punk match was announced. Another Punk match following his WWE return at Survivor Series has been announced for MSG. At Survivor Series 23, Punk made a shocking return to the company, first time in almost a decade. On the December 11th edition of Raw, Punk officially decided to sign with Monday Night and had a confrontation with the champ Seth Rollins in the ring. Earlier today, it was announced that Punk will have one of his first matches back in a WWE ring when he faces Dirty Dominic Mysterio on the December 30th WWE live event from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. However, it now seems that this will not be Punk's first match back, nor his first bout with the former NXT North American Champion, per MSG Twitter account. Punk has just been announced for the December 26th WWE live event from MSG in New York City. The post reads, just announced Punk will be live at the Garden on December 26th for his first match in WWE in over 9 years as he goes one-on-one with Dirty Dominic Mysterio at the WWE Live Holiday Tour. This is pretty cool, man. His first match is going to be with Rey Mysterio's kid, and they tend to go big with those those MSG shows. You know what I mean? Yeah. You think they play it safe, or they really try to go hard for the crowd that night?
I think it's going to be. I think they're going to go a little hard, not a lot, because especially since it's his first one, I think it's going to be. It's not going to be ramped up probably like the one at the pay-per-view is going to be, but it's going to be. He's going to go hard. I mean, it's Madison Square Garden. It's the heart of WWE territory. It's a Christmas show, which is a big deal for New York, Madison Square Garden, and the WWE. Like, it'll be a good match, but I think the one at the PLE will be where they turn up.
Man, what if he injures himself, RN?
I don't think we're gonna get as many injuries as we got in AEW because the style is different, the pace will be different. Like, I don't think he's gonna have to go as hard as he did and go balls to the walls like people expect of him at in an AEW match as he would in a WWE match.
Yeah, doesn't he have now? This is me just asking you because I wasn't watching when he was present in WWE, and maybe you were. But doesn't he have some type of historic feud or some moment with Rey Mysterio? Because I remember seeing a lot of buzz that when he returned to WWE, people said he needed to feud with Dominic because of some story that he had with Rey back in the day.
I think it might have been the SCS stuff. I suck at going back in history, but I think it might have been some of the straight edge society stuff on SmackDown with Rey. I think that might have been what they're talking about. I could be wrong.
Let me see here. Let's see what pops up first. Yeah, I'm just trying to do a quick little peek. Let's see. I'm Googling CM Punk Rey Mysterio. How about I type in feud? Let's see.
Yeah,
see if anything comes up with that shit. Got some matches. Punk is proud of Rey Mysterio for punching his son per cage side seats. That was back in March. Oh, dang it! I'll have to look it up. We'll revisit it because I know a lot of people said there's some ties there. I'll just have to do my research. But yeah, no, it's cool. They usually shell out for MSG. I just wish those shows were televised, or at least a special little PLE event. Maybe on the Peacock or something that you could watch, tune in. I think they famously had a title change hand at MSG a couple years back. Forget who it was. I know it was either the Intercontinental or it was the World Championship, I want to say. Changed hands at MSG. I can pull that up really quick. But they've been known to do some big stuff like that. It was back in December of 2019. Yeah. AJ Styles beat Kevin Owens for the U.S. title at a live event. It was one of the rare occasions that they did a belt change at one of those live events, man. Which I think that should be like one of the selling factors. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? You should have a belt that might change hands. Although I imagine that's what they probably did with that 24/7 title. I bet that shit changed hands at every goddamn live event that thing was on. Probably. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's look at a deadline for a second before we go back to AEW and some of their stuff. We had a chance to tune in. Let's go ahead and check out the results. This is going to be per cage side seats, I believe. Yeah. Dragunov beat Baron Corbin. Have you been keeping up with NXT? How's Corbin been feeling on the program?
Oh, he's ridiculous. It's lights out. It's the best work he's done in WWE in years.
Is that so?
Yeah.
All right, man. That's awesome to hear. Because I've had a couple people that I've seen and I've talked to, and they said that something about Corbin still just doesn't click, and maybe that's just their personal taste. I thought Corbin looked pretty badass coming out on the motorcycle. You know what I mean? He says, but let's see what we got here. Oh my God. Oh, you know what? I should have looked at this clip. Apparently, let me see. Now you see me messing around with this thing like way too much. I thought I could get the complete deadline results. Oh, right here. This is what I wanted. This headline was just the main event. There we go. Dragunov beat Baron Corbin. That was an awesome match. Dragunov's got this weird like mafia like hug thing, right? Is that what he's doing now? Like he just gets so angry he hugs you before he fucking murders you or something?
For the most part, yeah. It's fucking dope. He's fucking dope. Like I wish he was a little bit bigger. I'm anxious to see how he's gonna do on the main roster, but like he sells so good. And his offense is like really fucking like high powered and powerful for somebody so small. But his finishing moves are things that he could do to bigger guys. So like I'm definitely interested to see how he works on the main roster. That's why this match too was dope too, because you got to see him versus somebody with some size.
Yeah. No, it was good. I love that he does like these vicious looking H-bombs where he goes from like the standing position to like a diving almost elbow to the guy.
Yeah,
It's a
top rope, middle rope for the most part. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing he can do that without hurting the guy, because that is such a deadly thing. That was it's crazy they call it the H bomb, because that is actually was made famous by Dan Henderson, who's known for his right hand, which they gave the moniker the H bomb to. And if you're not aware, Dan Henderson, this badass American wrestler who could just lay guys out with his right hand. He was in a feud with Michael Bisping in the UFC some years ago, right? And it's still one of the most vicious knockouts you'll ever see if you go back and watch it. If you literally Google Dan Henderson knockout, that'll be the first one you see.
Bisping didn't get knocked out very often, so that's another reason why.
Yeah,
it was so fucking like crazy.
But Dan Henderson did that flying elbow to the unconscious Bisping, and it was so iconic he made it his brand. If you look up Dan Henderson's brand, it's a silhouette, kind of like the Jordan silhouette, except it's him diving in with the elbow from whenever he laid out Bisping. It's such a badass.
Well, and all of his moves are like bomb shit. Drag it up, like he's got the Moscow torpedo, which is like a running headbutt, and then he's got the H bomb. So like it
makes sense for a smaller guy. You have to make it make sense. Like how can he take down a big dude? He's not just gonna out wrestle all of them. You know what I mean? So he can knock him out.
And that's what I was saying about his moves. Like all his finishing maneuvers are things you can do to bigger guys, and it makes sense.
Yeah. So Kiana James defeated Roxanne Perez. I feel like I missed this match.
It was a cage match. It was shitty. Like it made sense.
I saw that. Yeah, never mind.
Like the whole point of the cage match is so interference doesn't happen, and she lost it, got the cage slammed on her head. So like
time and time again, the cage is the most ineffective means of keeping people out of your match.
Right.
The Iron Survivor match with Trick Williams defeating Dijak, Josh Briggs, Braun Breaker, and Tyler Bate. This match was pretty bonkers, man. For one, me coming in and not being like fully aware of like I've seen Trick Williams, but when I saw him, he was always playing second fiddle to Carmelo Hayes. I had no idea the reaction that he was going to garnish from that crowd.
Oh, that whooped that trick, bro.
Holy man.
Yes, he's fucking over.
He looks like $1 million too. That's the thing.
And he's big. Like, they don't have many big guys that are homegrown and that you can see being a star once they move up. Because he's like 6'4", 6'5". Like, he's fucking huge.
Right.
He's got charisma. He could talk. That was the thing, too. Like, most people didn't realize that he was good at wrestling because all he did was talk for Melo. And Melo did the wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and I love his finish rule. He does, like, the flash knee or whatever, like the V-trigger kind of type deal. Like, he's fucking legit. And to whoop that trick, like, is fucking fire.
So, yeah, he'll be facing Ilya Dragunov now that he won the Iron Survivor, and that should be a lot of fun. He does seem like one of the current crop of NXT guys that you can see the potential in being a major player in WWE once he's called up. A special shout out in this match goes out to Braun Breaker. Just making him like a hard asshole is so fantastic. Just him coming in and just giving spears to everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think I watched him come into the match probably like 4 times. Like when it happened, I just kept rewinding it and just watching him come in and just wreck house.
This is the presentation of him that I've always wanted. Like, cause y'all know, like, if y'all go back to watch some of that, I was not a fan of Braun Breaker, but he got that dog in him shit and all that with the fucking smoke and stuff and everything and the different sayings every time he comes out, something to have to do with a dog or some shit on his tights and stuff. And then, like I said, just came in and fucking wreck shot 3 quick pinfalls to get in the match and shit. Like it was the presentation that I loved and the fact that he was willing to give it up for Trick as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That lets you know how big he is. Like that doesn't affect his standing in NXT at all. Him losing the Trick.
Yeah, no, because I mean, as great as Trick was, I think Braun grabbed my eye still the most out of anybody because by far. He just seems like a big deal. You know, he's got the lineage, he's got the presentation. Like he does seem like he's got all the tools. I don't watch NXT enough to really see if there's holes in his game, but I know that like anytime that he's on the screen, whenever I do turn into NXT, I do find myself going like, I can't wait to see this dude on the main roster to see if he can grab his potential.
I think he will, like, because I think he just has it in him. Like, and every time you see him, he gets better. Every time he's on the mic, he gets better. Like every time he's in a position to shine, he never drops the ball. And I think that's why at the beginning we even talked about it, how out the gate it was Melo and fucking Braun, and it still is to me too. But you just got a couple other people that'll be right behind him. And Josh Briggs, like I love Josh Briggs. Like he was from Evolve. Like, and I think he got a good
big
opportunity.
Boy.
Yeah, and he can move, which I'm glad they gave him an opportunity to show, like the moonsaults and shit. Like he was keeping up with Dijak with all that shit they were doing.
Him and Dijak did moonsaults in unison. Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, that's 2 big dudes flying around in there, man. Yeah, Braun Breaker, but he's getting the seasoning. All he needs now is the rub.
And Tyler Bates, I think he should have been up. Like I think that he just has something.
The big strong boy, thing, man. I don't know.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily it doesn't have to be that, but like there's something there. And like as strong as he is for how small he is, like he was tossing them motherfuckers around like it wasn't nothing, and he's literally 5'5".
You know, when he comes up though, he'll be mid-card destined. Like look, I don't like to be Mr. Downer. You guys know me. I'm an optimist here. But I don't see it in Bate, man. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it. I
don't necessarily see it either. But like, even if he gets to like top mid card level, like Intercontinental title shit, like that's not a bad position to be.
That's not a bad spot. That's not a bad spot.
And he put on some bangers with Gunther / Walter too. So
he seems like a huge deal in a smaller weight division. You know what I mean? I think that's why. You know, like if he went over to AEW, world champion. You know what I mean? He fit right in. But putting him in there Who knows? I mean, who knows? We always said that, you know,
again,
people
I mean-
said that Daniel Bryan was too small, so.
Right. And then, like I said, the same thing I said about Dragunov versus Corbin, like seeing him in there with these big dudes and tossing them all, because he was by far the smallest person in the fucking
True.
match. He was
Yeah,
tossing
true.
all of them around. Like, it wasn't like he was like doing fucking moonsaults and arm drags and fucking, like, no, he was fucking power bombing these dudes, power slamming them, fucking doing his spin that he does. Like, he was tossing these 2-time dudes twice as big as him. He was tossing them around like he was their size. So, like, to me, that was promising for me to see him in a match where, because not when he gets called up, like, the only people that he's going to be same size is like Tozawa and a couple other people. But like I said, like, I can see him fucking suplexing fucking Otis or something like that. Like, I know he can do it. You know what I'm saying?
They'll
Like,
give him, because that's his whole shtick, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the commentary, I can't count how many times they were screaming out like "big strong boy."
right.
It's like, I get it, man. Like, it's kind of surreal tuning into NXT like once every like couple months, just because like I'm on the outside of all the stuff that they do like in the branding and everything, and so like when I'm like saying like "big strong boy," I kind of find it lame. I imagine other people fucking love it though. Like they
I think it's lame too until he does some shit like he does, where he's like fucking spinning, die jacking them. Like,
Yeah.
all right, okay. I mean, he is
Okay, all right, big strong boy. You know what? I wasn't a fan of the branding of Pretty Deadly, but I came around too. Because Pretty Deadly is entertaining as fuck, dude.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. Carmelo Hayes defeated Lexus King. So this is what Brian Pillman Jr. has been up to, huh? For what he looks pretty cool. What's his whole shtick? He seemed like he's from what I picked up, he faked like he was attacking Trick Williams or something, but it helped him
Yeah.
get on the pay-per-view. What did I miss here?
Yeah, it was. That's been the whodunit thing, like who took Trick out at the last PLE or whatever, and like that's all we've been wondering and figuring out. Like this whole time, he's been acting like it was him, and then after he lost, he was like, "It wasn't me." So
But thanks
it's
for
still-
thanks for the spot on the PLE.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't mind. Like, I like the position that he's been in and like how they're presenting. I wish he had went with the Brian Pillman shit, but like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like, we know you're Brian Pillman Jr. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, people have come around to Braun Breaker, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People seem to not be so upset nowadays that he dropped the Steiner name. Although I'm not gonna lie, I'd still love it if I heard him referred to as Steiner.
and
But,
I'd still love it too if he went back to being his actual name. But like, I've always liked him. I've met him a couple times here in Ohio, a couple independent shows and stuff because he's from the area. Like, he's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm happy that I hope he gets the success that everyone thinks he can. And I think the Triple H and him, like, because he's been presented as top notch from the get go, from his first promos and shit and the vignettes to get us there. Like, and I love his entrance. It's just the chair, the throne, just kind of fucking slides in with the smoke and shit. Like, it's kind of fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we'll see.
He was doomed in AEW with that Varsity Blondes gimmick.
Yeah.
With Griff Garrison. You know, I mean, kudos to Tony and them seeing the potential in Julia Hart out of that,
Yeah.
because that just seemed like such a dead like live event only gimmick.
Right.
And yeah. It's cool to see a better presentation of him. I like I said, this was my first introduction to NXT. Brian Pillman, and in his match with Carmelo Hayes was pretty damn entertaining. I liked it. I like the whole trying to get Carmelo to shake his hand, and it's like it's like the reverse psychology. Like, I don't know, like the asshole who wants the visual respect. It was pretty neat. I liked it.
It was some Brian Pillman shit.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. All right, so I didn't watch anything before that. So the Iron Survivor match between Blair Davenport, where she beat Tiffany Stratton, Lash Legend, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley. I did see the funny clip where I forget who it was. They came out and they blocked the penalty box, so the women couldn't get out. But that was like the only clip I saw from the event. And I thought that
No, it was
hilarious.
dope. Blair Davenport is fucking fire.
Yeah, wasn't she in AEW briefly?
I don't know. I know she was in NXT UK. She might have been. I don't know.
Who knows?
I mean,
Yeah,
if she was, it was probably dark or some shit I didn't watch. So
yeah. Who knows? It feels like at this point, with how many women are progressing in NXT, they're gonna have to do like a female version of Nexus when they get called up. Like they're just gonna have to come up in a faction in Wreck House with the main roster. It's just because it seems like I don't. Is there anybody would you say currently on the NXT roster who is without a shadow of a doubt like the standout female in the roster?
Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton, really?
Yeah.
What's her deal?
She's like, she started off like daddy's little girl that has money and shit, and then they completely dropped the angle of who her dad was. But like her progression in the ring, like it's Mandy Rose's progression times 2. Like,
Okay.
what she started out as to what she became, even with her title run, like, and she might have the best moonsault in the fucking business. Like she is, I mean, she's a star. Like even her on the screen with Becky, like it didn't seem like she was an NXT talent. You know what I'm saying? If you actually watch NXT and what was going on, like there's something there. Like, and I think Lash too, like her slamming Otis and shit. Like,
Yeah, I saw that clip whenever that
like
made the
she's-
rounds.
I mean, she was a dog college athlete, like 2020 games and shit, and in the NCAA and shit. Like, I think that she has a chance, and she can talk too. She had her own talk show for a little while too. So like, to me, those two and Blair Davenport, like Blair Davenport's kind of like, what's her name, Jamie Hayter. Like
Yeah.
she's in that mode. Like
okay,
any type of match, physical, chain wrestling, like any type of match you put her in, she's gonna look like that's her style, whether it is or it isn't. So like those three women are probably my, I'd say the ones that I think that'll end up being something once they get called up.
Once they get called up. That's cool, man. I'm keeping an eye out for it because like that seems to be like one of the things I've been hearing is like the NXT women's roster has been has progressed quite a bit.
Probably the best women's roster in wrestling now. I think they kind of snatched it from Impact for real.
That's pretty dope, man. Dragon Lee defeated Dominic Mysterio to win the North American champion. I swear, dude, without fail in WWE, if there is a wrestler who's scheduled for a title match and is injured, the person who fills in is almost a shoo-in to win every time, man. That's awesome. Dragon Lee's dope though. He's been
Yeah.
I love how they've been presenting him. He's been a really fun watch.
And I like how his style hasn't really changed much from like the other promotions and stuff that he wrestled in. Like it's still pretty AEW-ish, honestly, just a little bit snugger and a little bit more safer. And I mean, he comes from fucking a wrestling family, Roosh and fucking Andrade and all them. Like, I mean, they know what they're doing. Their daddy wasn't fucking around when he trained them and got them out.
Yeah, man. Dragon's the shit. And then one of probably the sillier gimmicks that I don't know if I'm missing something here. If I need to go back and watch some tape, I do not get Axiom or what the hell that is.
No,
I feel like I have
kid.
old man energy. Like, what is this?
No, he was a kid in NXT UK, and he was a little bit NXT before they changed him to this Axiom shit. Like, I still don't get it. Like, it was like some hacker type shit. When it started, like, I mean, he's really dope as fuck in the ring. Like,
That's what I've heard.
he's a really good wrestler, but like, I don't get the mask stuff if you're not really like Mexican and real luchador. Like, I don't get it. Like, he's from England or Australia or some shit. Like, it's a waste. And he's a good looking kid. Like, it's not like he's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a really good looking kid. So it's like, I don't get it. I never like understood the switch up on it, but I mean, that's what NXT is for, to kind of see, poke and play and
try some stuff out. Sometimes you get some really cool gimmicks like Trick Williams, and sometimes you get scripts. So
right, which he's out of that now too. Like, he's actually a manager for a tag team.
is he?
But yeah, the tag team, they're decent, but it's like some stereotype hood nigga shit. Like one of them comes out wrestling in like a wife beater and jeans, and like it's. I mean, they're not bad. You can tell they're green and they're working on it, but like he is a good talker, so like it kind of works for them. And he gets involved, gets bumps and shit, and helps them out. Does like some flips and shit off the fucking apron and stuff to help him win and stuff like. So it kind of works, but like but he's not Scripps anymore. I think he still goes by that name, but he don't have like the mask and all that dumb shit in it.
Yeah, wasn't he Reggie? He was like Reggie, right? Yeah,
he was Reggie.
Okay. He defeated Nathan Frazier.
Yeah, who's also really good too, but they're small, so like I don't know NXT's probably their ceiling, honestly.
Okay. I was gonna. That actually took longer than I thought. I was gonna put time into discussing. Tony Khan is considering vacating an AEW Stars Championship, but this is kind of like non-news. I guess he's tossing around the idea of stripping MJF and Adam Cole, which honestly I don't think it matters either way. No one really watches Ring of Honor, so.
Which I said that they were gonna fucking get it and bury it. As soon as they got rid of fucking...
It's their developmental is what it is. It's just, it's
as soon
not...
As they got rid of fucking Jonathan Gresham, I knew that it was going to be...
It's what it is they took AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, canceled that, and then just put it as Ring of Honor and put it on a paywall. Right. You know what I mean? So you can pay to watch theoretically, the AEW's next generation of wrestlers, is what it is. That, and then Tony Khan is also open to having a current champion appear on TV. Now, this one might tickle your fancy, RN. He is hold on one second here, just make sure this is a current article, right? I'm gonna feel so stupid. I think it is. Okay, I think it is. Yeah, so it looks like during the Ring of Honor Final Battle 2023 media call, Tony Khan was asked about Athena appearing on AEW programming. He answered, certainly open to Athena appearing on AEW and other places. I think it's really great to have somebody who's a great ambassador of the company like Athena. He says, one thing is that she has been a constant and great about Ring of Honor is that Athena has been very much a part of that show and focused on the show. It's because, you don't know what to fucking do with your women, Tony. I'm sorry. This just makes me pissed off because that really hurt. She was the first woman that I heard was coming over to AEW, and I was like, fuck yes. She is going to be a pivotal point.
And it was perfect for her because she can't talk that well, but she can go, and that's what you
wrestle her ass off, dude. Yeah,
I honestly forgot she was there. I didn't even realize.
I think she's one of the selling points of Ring of Honor. Right. I think that is what it is
for the title or something, or to get the title. Maybe I can't remember, but
yeah, her work has been one of the strongest things about the show. If Athena is focused on Ring of Honor and AEW, that's great too. Yeah, I bet she is. Because you want to be on major shows. I don't know, man. I don't know. I actually was reading this. I started out optimistic, but then I just got bummed because I just remembered that she's been signed with AEW for I think a couple years now, and we haven't seen shit from her.
Everything white, man.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, dude. But yeah, that's it for the wrestling news. That's it. God damn. It's been a fun week, RN. One more thing to touch on before we go. Athena is Ring of Honor. On Ring of Honor YouTube, they have lengthy recaps to catch up. You know what, JJ? I might you should DM me a link to wherever you watch those, because I might want to tune those in. Whenever I'm laying down in bed and I'm just trying to drone out, I'll probably watch some Ring of Honor if it's on YouTube. I ain't paying for it. You know what I mean? Hell no, I wouldn't pay to watch NXT. I ain't gonna pay to for Ring of Honor. RN, this is one other thing I wanted to bring up with you. Is it looks like potentially right now? Would you agree that we could be working towards one of the strongest WrestleMania cards in recent years? I looked in Reek from Young Kings podcast. I'm not sure if he's still on there. I haven't heard from them in a while. He is. Okay. He retweeted the Squared Circle, or I guess reposted. It's from Facebook. But we could be potentially looking at the Usos facing off, Jay and Jimmy. Obviously, Cody Rhodes finishing his story was Roman, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, and then of course Logan Paul and L.A. Knight. All fire feuds that could walk in, all of which could main event individual pay-per-views. and we might be getting them to culminate at next year's WrestleMania. I couldn't tell you, like, I am so stoked. Like, that sounds badass, man.
Yeah, I hope we get all of those, especially the 2 main events.
Yeah, I think. How would you feel about? Because who would? Okay, I'm assuming in this the world title would be between Seth and CM Punk.
Yeah.
Right. The only person here missing is we got to figure out what's that Intercontinental title gonna look like around WrestleMania time. You think Gunther? You think they'll have 2 stories of long reigning champions, like legendary championship reigns coming to an end at WrestleMania?
I don't know. I mean, because I don't see anybody that they're building up for Gunther. Honestly, like I honestly don't know. Like I really don't know.
Because it's at this point, Gunther seems more dominant in his title reign than Roman is in his, because obviously because Roman's had the bloodline like crumble through his fingers.
Right.
You know what I mean? And at any point, there's so many factors where Roman could lose his belt, where Gunther just feels like he's got a death grip on that title, man. I feel for Miz. Yeah. I want to see him win. That shit ain't happening. I'll bet my house on
Gunther
it.
doesn't rely on so much of the fucking outside shit either. Like he's putting on bangers anytime he defends the title.
Yeah. Oh man, I think it's gonna be. I can't wait to watch the development to WrestleMania. I'm definitely already starting to feel the buzz, and we ain't even hit the Rumble yet. So
yeah, I'm ready for Rumble for sure.
All right. Well, that's gonna be our show for tonight. It's been fun. We hit an hour. RN, how's the puppy business doing?
Doing good. I got a couple pups for sale. Hit me up at Route 4 Kennel on Facebook, Route 4 Kennel on Instagram. You can hit me up on Twitter too if you want to buy a puppy. We got some working man prices, nothing too crazy for people. So definitely hit me up if you're looking for a little Christmas gift.
And did I hear you correct earlier? You said you got something working with Mean Jelly Bean, you and Adam working on
our annual Christmas song. It'll be out Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude, I can't wait. I gotta work Christmas Eve, but I'll definitely have that shit playing. Because ain't nobody gonna be in my store that night, man. Everybody's gonna be at home with their families, I would think. But yeah, that's a fun show, you guys. Of course, like we said before, we go every week. Man, take care of yourself. If you're struggling with mental health issues, an addiction, RN and I here have shared the same struggles and continue to share the same struggles, man. And we just want to make sure that all of our viewers know that it's never safe to suffer in silence. So yeah, and then yeah, man, just reach out, talk to somebody.
We're here for you. Don't ever think we're not.
And yeah, thank you, JJ, for stopping by. Thank you, Tommy, as well. I love you guys. You guys have always been some of the funner people that come through and check us out. Y'all have a great week. We will catch you next Tuesday? Yeah, next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Put it out there, like, we got to make these things happen. And
Well, the thing I like about it is too is Triple H finally like whipping his dick out.
Hey yo, what the fuck?